Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm trying to see if this is actually working today. Yes, it is live. It didn't look like it was live there for a minute. Sorry. Good afternoon. This is Bonnie Barclay. I am a therapist in Knoxville, Tennessee, and owner of Creekside Counseling and Wellness. I am coming to you today to talk more about the Gottman Sound Relationship House. The last time I was working on the Gottman House, it was more with a trauma lens. And today I'm just going to review the first three floors of that sound relationship house, really just helping everybody prep and get in the mood for Valentine's Day and Love Month. The series this month is called For the Love, and really want to talk today about the sound relationship house. And in those first three levels, the focus is really all about friendship. So, this is important because a key predictor in marital satisfaction or relations satisfaction is friendship. And that's what really fuels the healthy intimacy in a relationship. And when I talk about intimacy, I'm not just talking about sexual intimacy, but emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical, and overall experiential intimacy. So I do think that Valentine's Day can be a great reminder for couples to take a break from their busy schedules, to check in with their partner, and also to reconnect. So, while friendship does not prevent conflict, it does increase a couple's ability to work through conflict more effectively when it does come up. And it always comes up for couples. Friendship is the thing that sustains a relationship. So, Gottman likens a secure and healthy relationship to a sound relationship house. And it has two key walls on the side of trust and commitment, and then seven different floors, three of which we're going to talk about today. This time, I'm going to focus on key concepts from the first three levels that really talk and unpack that friendship even more. And if you struggle with vulnerability in relationship or have a history of trauma where being known and seen in a relationship is difficult, please go back to my other series that talks about the sound relationship through the trauma lens. And if you don't want to scroll through and find it on my Facebook feed, then I do have a YouTube channel, and that particular series is available on there on the YouTube channel. So let's kind of look at what those three levels are. The first one is building love maps. The second is sharing fondness and admiration. And the third one is turning towards instead of away. So we're going to start with this first floor. It all begins on the firm foundation of knowing each other. In the first level of the sound relationship house, partners build what Gottman calls a love map, which is essentially the guide to your partner's inner world. You know, what are their likes and dislikes? Who is your partner's best friend? Did they have a happy childhood? How do they prefer to relax after a tense day? And building love maps means asking the right questions to learn more about your partner, but also unpacking that even deeper. So, in an ideal relationship, you and your partner are going to know each other better than anyone else, right? For this series, what I want you to think about in really building and maintaining healthy intimacy is how you can nurture this friendship through continued curiosity about your partner, being intentional about asking open ended questions on a daily basis. I mean, that's where the intentional part comes in when we get caught up in the day to day and how can we be intentional about connecting. So don't just unpack this by asking a question. You want to explore deeper. For example, if the question is, what is my favorite childhood restaurant? Or you ask your partner that. You want to get curious about where is it located? What does it look like? What memories do you have associated with that favorite restaurant? And that really takes it to more of a deeper level of intimacy. As with anything else, there's an app for that. Gottman has a card decks app that has different card decks for love maps, open ended questions, rituals of connection, opportunity, sex questions, and date questions. And I don't know how the deck questions are for the sex questions, but usually they go anywhere from mild to spicy, so you can kind of pick what's in your comfort level there. All right, so floor two, share fondness and admiration. Everyone needs to hear something nice about themselves, and it means the most when it comes from your partner. Sharing fondness and admiration is all about being intentional, about vocalizing the characteristics that you appreciate in your partner. In healthy relationships, you can articulate the big and little reasons you love your partner. Many refer to this floor as the go to antidote for contempt, which is one of the four horsemen that threaten a relationship. When you think about it, though, criticism is usually what leads to contempt. And by making this floor a priority, an ongoing stance you hold towards your partner, it will prevent criticism from escalating into contempt in the first place. One of the things I like to do to help clients or couples reconnect is to have couples review their love story. Most of us would not even be married or in a committed relationship with our partner if we did not have some level of fondness and admiration or respect for our partner. Deep down, despite our partner's flaws, we usually believe our partner is a good person. This belief is what Gottman refers to as the fondness and admiration system. Gottman says couples who nurture their fondness and admiration for one another are better able to accept each other's flaws and weaknesses and prevent them from threatening their relationship. Fondness and admiration protect against feeling contempt for your spouse, which is again that dangerous emotion that too many partners develop towards each other, especially as the years go by. So let's look at how you can work on your fondness and admiration script. Number one, write out your love story. How you met, what you enjoyed about each other, the ways you like showing up for your partner, and how you like how they show up for you. Sit down and share this with your partner, even pulling up old pictures. This helps you remember why you like each other. This is important, especially if you're having a difficult time. Number two, list each other's positive qualities and an example or incident of when that occurred, and share that list with each other. I know this stuff can sound cheesy, but you will be surprised how much it helps if you're really intentional about connecting. Three, choose to think positively and practice this daily. Having that positive mindset, scanning for things that are positive instead of negative. And I know this seems simple, but this requires being intentional. This simple task can go a long way in overcoming negativity and hopelessness in struggling marriages. Small stuff often, positive mindset. Number four, expressing appreciation and affection consistently. Give your partner a roadmap to successfully Meeting your needs is number 5. Write out 5 to 10 positive requests that speak to the way you like to be loved, admired, and cherished in the relationship, and ask them to do the same. And I know I hear this a lot, I shouldn't have to ask them. And that's not true. That's a myth. Sometimes we really have to ask for what we need. Our partners cannot read our mind. And people joke about, well, in books I read and in movies I watch and TV shows I watch, the partner anticipates and can meet someone's needs. Well, of course they can, because someone wrote them a script. So just remember that. They're not real. Someone wrote them a script. Write your partner a script. Help them be successful. When they aren't able to follow through with what those things that you've written out and asked for, then that might be a time to get some help and figure out what's going on a deeper level. So, floor number 3, the final one we're going to talk about today, is turning towards instead of away. When you need attention, support, and comfort from your partner, you're likely to say something or make a gesture to elicit a response from them. And what Gottman calls this is a bid for connection. When your partner turns toward that bid, when they reply to what you asked for, that is putting a deposit in your emotional bank account. That's your partner turning toward that bid when they reply to what you need. When you both recognize and turn towards each other's bids, you create a safe space for you both to express yourselves and your needs. This is how you make deposits, again, into that emotional bank account. This floor is all about the day-to-day interactions. And going back to that phrase, small stuff often. Talk about what turning toward looks like with your partner, what it feels like for both of you, which may sometimes be different. This is one where cultural differences is also important to talk about. Let your partner know when you feel heard and seen and when you don't, and this is part of that roadmap. Let me give you 2 examples of a bid, turning toward versus turning away. The first being an example of a direct bid and the other a hidden bid, which Gottman discusses, looking for longing in a partner's complaint, being able to see the bid in a complaint. Seeing the bid even when it's presented in a negative way, so connection is restored rather than fueling that turning away process. A direct bid may look like a wife saying, getting the kids off to school was so stressful this morning, we barely made it on time. With connection looking like her partner looking up from the computer, closing it, and saying, what happened? A failed bid in that moment may be continuing to look down, mumbling, without looking up, continuing the work that your partner was already doing and not engaging your partner in that moment. A hidden bid may come out as a complaint, like I said. All you do is work, with the hidden bid being, I miss you and want more time with you. How we respond to these either supports connection, repairs connection, or erodes connection. So 2 concepts that are key to healthy friendships and intimacy that Gottman discusses are gentle startup and repair attempts. I think these are important to review for these first 3 floors and really working on nurturing that friendship and approaching each other when problems occur and really looking at that overall connection. So, gentle startup. A softened startup is perhaps the most essential part of making a valid complaint to your partner. It involves taking responsibility for your part, to complain without blame and stating a positive need, making statements that start with I instead of you, describe what is happening instead of evaluating or judging. When you complain, you want to be heard and influence your partner, and you want your partner to accept that influence. And they will be more likely to be open to your point of view and deliver that behavioral change you desire when you describe what you want. A few other pointers with this: be direct. Again, partners cannot read your mind. Ask for what you want firmly with courtesy and respect. Be polite. Be appreciative, recognizing what you appreciate about your partner, and sometimes folding that into your positive requests when possible. Address issues when they come up instead of letting them build up, so you don't get into that laundry listing and unloading. It's harder to do a gentle or soft startup when you've let a lot of things build up. So the script I give my clients for a softened startup is this: I feel about what, which is the situation or event, and I need, want, or prefer. So this is what it might look like. I feel stressed about planning and cooking dinner every night. I would prefer that you helped me and took responsibility for 2 nights a week so I can have a break. That would make me happy. What do you think? Which invites then that dialogue and participation. So think about how that did the I feel, and you're talking about feeling stressed. About what? Planning and cooking dinner every night. And what do you need? I want you to take 2 nights off my plate. That would make me happy. What do you think? That feels real different than I'm sick and tired of cooking dinner every night and you need to do more. You need to get home earlier, you need to whatever. And you can feel the difference between those two approaches. Some refer to the gentle startup as waving the white flag, signaling to your partner the need for help or the need to set a boundary. All right, so let's go into this final piece, which is repair attempts. Repair attempts are a couple's secret weapon. Why? Because we all mess up in relationships. It's normal to mess up, disappoint, or let down the people we love. It happens. It's our ability to circle back and make repairs that determine better outcomes. The success or failure of a couple in using repair attempts is a key factor in whether the couple will do well or struggle. In relational terms, repair is less about fixing what is broken and more about getting back on track when you circle back. Gottman defines repair attempts as any statement or action, silly or otherwise, that prevents negativity from escalating out of control, something to diffuse the situation. I will be posting an article later this week on the how-tos, and a list available with different phrases are included in that article. And you can look over that to get ideas, that list of different things that repair or stop action or give space to an argument so you can circle back and be more productive. So I want you to be able to look at that, but also be creative. Work together to develop your own phrases or strategies that kind of honor the nature of your relationship. My husband and I can be a little jokey and snarky at times, and so some of our fun phrases are silly and they do help redirect us. I remember even a repair attempt time with my son that stands out to me is, those moments when you're tired and you're a mom and your kids are just like, Mom, Mom, Mom. And I could just feel my frustration level. I thought, if I hear the word mom one more time, I'm going to lose it, right? And I vocalized my frustration to my kids. And my son turned around and he was like, "Would you like me to call you Frank instead?" And I just, how could that not diffuse my frustration? It was hilarious. And till this day, sometimes he'll look at me when he can tell I'm kind of being frustrated in a mom role. And he's like, "Do you need me to call you Frank?" Sometimes it's as simple as that to diffuse a situation in any relationship. So, here are two hard truths I want you to think about this week. Number one, hidden bids. Whew. Those that come out sounding negative or critical are important to pay attention to for the health of your relationship. These are the hard ones to attune to or respond to. They can be triggering. Number two, a key barrier is distraction. A barrier to meeting those bids for connection, those bids that become failed bids, is our wired world. It is so important to really be intentional and attuned when your partner makes a bid. And sometimes the phones, the computers, the television, all the things, sometimes we just need to put them down. And it goes a long way to helping our relationship and helping our partner feel cherished and seen. So, the challenge for this week or the next couple of weeks is, how can you make regular deposits in your partner's emotional bank account? That small stuff often approach so you have more positives in the account to help you weather any storm that comes your way. The 5-to-1 ratio, 5 positives for every 1 negative. And how can you disconnect from your wired world and prioritize connection? So, the next Facebook Live is not going to be until February 22nd. I'm going to be going out of town to a swim meet, and I'll be back and be jumping back on later this month for the second part of For the Love. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Happy Valentine's Day. And really prioritize this month connection with your partner, connections with friends and family. I wish you the best. Thanks.